Shots fired, officer down, shots fired, officer down. Got a city officer down, shots fired.
As Baton Rouge awakens from a nightmare, a city and a nation ask, why did a former Marine shoot 6 of our heroes?
And dealing with tragedy as a family, the Baton Rouge community comes together to support our fallen, the wounded, and their families.
Temperature at 75 degrees this morning. Looking at a big warm-up this week. Your complete forecast is on TuneIn.
Looking good on the bridge this morning. I'll let you know about all of your roadways coming up.
Now, from WBRZ News 2, this is TuneIn.
It's 5 a.m. Good morning, South Louisiana. We're glad you could tune in on this Monday, July 18th. I'm John Pasterek.
And I'm Michael Shingleton in for Kylie Dixon, who's on maternity leave. Josh and Ashley joining us this morning as well.
Yeah, we're looking at that weather being the story once again this week, but not the storms, the heat, what we'll be talking about in a few minutes.
All right. Cool.
All right. Thank you all very much. Well, law enforcement community mourning the loss of 3 of their own this morning. 2
Baton Rouge police officers and an East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's deputy were killed in the line of duty. Officers Matthew Gerald on your left, Montrell Jackson in the middle, along with Sheriff's Deputy Brad Garafola.
Heartbreak, sorrow. We're in mourning right now. You know, anytime you lose an officer, but you lose 3 officers in one day at one time is just traumatic on not only, you know, all our officers with all the agencies, but with this community. We're a community that's been hurting for the last 2 weeks, and this didn't help. This is not helping. So we've got to pick ourselves up here.
The officers were killed during a shootout with a gunman on Airline Highway early Sunday morning. They were responding to reports of a man wearing all black carrying an assault rifle. Within minutes of the scene, shots were fired. Officers were down. In all, 6 officers were wounded, 3 died. During the chaos, the suspect was also killed. The investigation into this tragedy continues.
No surprises to be waking up to temperatures in the middle 70s. Morning traffic and weather on the 2s, of course. Now it's time for our first check of your commute this morning. Here's Ashley Frugier.
Thank you so much, Josh. Checking the area this morning, I'm not really noticing many issues around. It looks pretty good out there. Again, weather looking good this morning, traffic looking fine as well. Let's send it over to you guys.
Sounds good, Ashley. Thank you very much. And we continue with the chilling dispatch recordings from the deadly police shooting that reveals how the day turned tragic.
Gunfire erupted on a busy stretch of roadway just before 9 a.m. Sunday morning. After reports of a man wearing black head to toe was armed with a rifle and walking down Airline Highway.
Be advised, I'll be out of the city at the Be Quick on Airline Highway, across from Hammer Mall. Supposedly a lady came up and said there was a subject walking with a coat and a assault rifle out here behind the store. Well, shots fired, officer down, shots fired, officer down. Got a city officer down, shots fired. Shots fired on Airline. I know where the subject shooting from.
Just horrifying hearing the panic in their voices. As dispatch rounded officers to the scene, they spotted the suspect. A shootout followed, and all 6 officers were shot. 3 later died at the hospital. The gunman was also killed, and people living near where the shooting happened are just horrified.
I don't feel like we're safe. I feel horrible for the cops, you know, for the whole police force, just in general. I'm really stunned. I never, just stunned.
Officials believe the shooter acted alone. Several people were taken into custody for questioning, but later released. And we have live team coverage this morning.
News 2's Michael Vincento is on Airline Highway where the shootout took place, and Brittany Weiss is at Our Lady of the Lake Hospital near the site of a growing memorial, also where one officer is fighting for his life. Brittany, good morning to you again. And what is the latest on the conditions? How are those officers doing this morning?
Well, we do know that 2 East Baton Rouge Sheriff's deputies remain in the hospital this morning. Nicholas Toulier is 41 years old. He had surgery yesterday, and he still has several other surgeries to go. He's part of the Uniform Traffic Division, and he's been with the Sheriff's Office for 18 years. Bruce Simmons, 51, is also with the Uniform Traffic Division. He's been with the Sheriff's Office for 23 years. He has non-life-threatening injuries. And as you said, people have been coming by the hospital, dropping off flowers, dropping off cards, balloons, just praying for these deputies in the hospital, making sure they recover. We'll send it back to you.
Community rallies around their heroes. Brittany, thanks for that. Now to the 9,000 block of Airline Highway, where a car wash and a beauty supply shop are located. 2 addresses that would be ignored by passersby at this hour, but not today. TuneIn's Michael Vincento joins us with the latest from the shooting scene. Michael, good morning to you. I guess it's a much different scene than we saw yesterday morning.
Hey, good morning, JP. Well, certainly a very high alert and hectic scene yesterday morning. This morning, it's a peaceful and a very quiet scene here. Of course, we're about 100 yards north of Old Hammond Highway on Airline. I want to put in perspective exactly where we are. On the far side, that's the beauty salon, the Hair Crown beauty store that you were hearing about just moments ago. In between the Be Quick store, that's where the alleged shooter was, and the shooting was happening between the two buildings here, of course. Happening today, the story, you still see there's crime scene tape still in the trash can right here behind me, so still very real situation out here. And of course, there's about 5 or 6 bouquets, maybe about 30 yards away from me, towards Airline Highway, where people have come out here within the past few hours. Of course, Airline Highway was shut down for most of the day yesterday, so people didn't have a chance to come here. But it is a memorial here at this location, and it could grow over the next few hours with people passing by. Back to you.
Probably will. Thank you so much for that live report, Michael. And a vigil is for the officers is being held tonight at the South Point subdivision on Country Manor Avenue. Several other vigils are also being planned in neighborhoods around Denham Springs.
In the midst of the tragedy, people of different denominations are turning to prayer for healing. Despite the short notice, the community filled a Catholic church in Zachary, praying for peace. Christians prayed for law enforcement and honored those who risked their lives to protect us. They pray for a better tomorrow.
It was such a blessing tonight. It really meant a lot.
It's good to know that, a community like this can come together on such a short notice. I mean, it was just planned this morning, and you can see how many people showed up.
Religious leaders remind the community to not let fear prevent them from spreading love and peace.
And later this morning, the Louisiana Republican delegation will hold a prayer service for the fallen officers. And coming up, we're going to take you to Cleveland for the start of the Republican National Convention.
Then later, more on the outpouring of support for the Baton Rouge Police Department and the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. Time now 5:08, 75 degrees outside. Tune in, rolls on in 3 minutes.